Oh, I had to. It's like he's just sitting there. It's like, what?
No, I'm not saying what. I do. As soon as I look down and notice the puzzle piece, and I'm like, all right, it's at the end. And I'm just staring at it, and I was like, oh, he's doing this. Look who's on the show today.
Welcome.
So I want my own screen on the introduction. Shroud's ain't there anymore.
When you get
Demon ain't here anymore. Why am I sharing with 4 other people?
You and Akers just showed up.
But we're back. The other ones aren't coming back anytime soon.
Well, it's not our fault, Suds. They suck at bowling, and they can't do nothing.
Oh. Them's fighting words. Don't make me get my kid on you.
Again. That's what. Yeah, you have to go get your kid. Your kid. You can't.
His kid is taller than him now.
Almost. Welcome, folks. As you all see, we've got the Akers back. We've got Suds back. We're just
fuck you, Akers.
Other bodies. It has been a very full-fledged weekend. I am still recovering from the baseball tournament hangover, which Bryce had, and boy, it's been a little while since I've had to do one of those. The Rise and Shine game, not a fan of. I mean, let me get into my body, heck, let alone a kid or two. Holy cow, that was a tough one. First thing in the morning.
Let's sign my kid up for a bunch of stuff and then complain that I signed him up for it.
Actually, no, the tournament folks set up the schedules. Shoot, one team had a 12:30 game, and instead of having like a 1-game break, oh no, it was a 5-hour break. They didn't play again until 6:30. It was insane. Everybody else got to back up, and they said if they would have flipped one other team, at least their game, they would have waited only 2 games being the worst wait. But I was like, man, if you're going to set up double headers like that, it's like line it all up right. But nope, they didn't. I thought that was kind of crazy. It's like, wow, that's pretty wild. But, you know, it is what it is.
Did you not sign him up for baseball?
Did I sign up on the tournament, and did I set the schedule? No, I did not. It
doesn't matter. Did you
get them ready? Yes, it did not take that long.
Not 2 minutes of that.
Just a couple.
I don't know. Let's see.
Just a couple.
There's a timer at the top if he quits hitting buttons.
3 minutes 40 seconds. So 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. Boom, first one.
I'm surprised he didn't sit mute as you came in. Like, you weren't going to be able to say shit till he unmuted you. Like, you had to be quiet until he was like, okay.
You know, the multiple different things that could have been done. Are you seriously eating again? Mute yourself when you're eating. That's what the dump button's for with microphones. Damn it.
He's just doing it to annoy you.
Oh, I know. Well, with the rash of allegations, I guess we could say, that keep occurring with some of the NFL folks, Suds is, as we say, the all-criminal team that he puts together. Well, we've actually got him to at least start with the NBA, because the NFL one is, I think, going to take more than a couple weeks, Suds. It's gonna be a little bit.
Let's be honest. There's an entire team that could be put on there.
Hey.
One entire team, including the owner. I mean, I got enough for a league.
Touche.
But so George asked me to put together my all-criminal basketball team, but with COVID and the scam that recently happened last year, that has turned out I could have several NBA teams as well.
You got referees in there too?
What's that?
You got referees in there too?
I could, at least one. I could have one referee. I should put his dumbass in there, shouldn't I? Honorable mention for his. We know who it is.
I was going to say,
this was an honorable mention for him. The Pistons should beat the crap out of that dude. So, yeah. Let's be real. During a playoff game against the Detroit Pistons, and I believe it was either the Cavs or Miami. I believe it was Miami. Yeah, I believe it was Miami. Tayshaun Prince was taking out the ball. The guy was sitting there starting the 5 seconds. 5 second. They threw Rip Hamilton, or was it? No, they threw Chauncey Billups into the freaking stands 2 rows in. And then when Prince calls timeout, the guy puts his head up. It's like, I didn't hear it. 5 seconds. Oh, the other team's ball. And come to find out, he was fixing that game in order to make some money.
That was a Pacers
But
game?
anyways,
Is that what you're saying?
What's that?
Was that the Pacers and?
No, it was the Detroit Pistons, I believe, versus Miami, or it was Detroit Pistons versus Cavs in the playoffs in the early 2000s.
Wasn't it the what is that? The big fight from Pacers in Detroit? Wasn't that who it was? And the stands, it's not whatever.
That was Ron Artest
Yeah.
versus Detroit Pistons fans.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Detroit.
No, it doesn't. Again, look at there, a whole number of them. But anyways, so my list consists of not great NBA players, just the NBA players who are spending the most time in jail. So at number 10, man, I tell you what, these people, I don't even know who the hell they are. But allegedly, they played in the NBA, excuse me. Sebastian Telfair. He was drafted by the Trailblazers in the first round. He played from 2004 to 2014 with the Trailblazers and the Thunders and a couple other teams. He is serving 3 years in jail. Unfortunately, due to George told me I can't tell y'all why. You have to look it up. I can't give out the reasons why they're in jail, according to George. We have snowflakes.
Speculations they're in jail, not the reasons why.
No. There's some snowflakes in control of certain things that might want to try to kick us off the air. So,
well, it's summertime; they'll melt.
Yeah. Number 9, Arthur Long was drafted by Seattle. He played for only 2 years. Played again with the Raptors at the end. He's in jail for the. He got 7 years because he was a lot of it. Billy Ray Bates. And you'd be amazed. That's a white guy. He was actually drafted in 1978, but didn't really play for like 3 years until 1983. He's got an 8-year sentence. Tate George, drafted by the Nets in 1990, played a few years with Milwaukee. He's got 9 years in jail. Jay Vincent, again, I have not heard of any of these people. Actually, number 3 or 4, I have heard of them. But Jay Vincent, Dallas from 1981, played and then all the way up to the Lakers in 1990. He got 5 years. I wish I could just tell you what they all did. Because it gets more serious. You can imagine some of the things these dudes had to have done in order to get these crimes or these sentences. Because there's a couple of these dudes that are still in jail. Daryl Alum. He played for the Mavs for 1 year in 1980. He got 9 years in jail. I'm sorry, I got to say why. Someone liked pizza so much he robbed the Domino's pizza delivery dude 14 times. The same Domino's 14 times. I'm sorry. I just have to go ahead and say that one out loud because only
wants that extra cheese.
Yeah, he wanted double pepperoni or something. So at number 4, this is one I know because he actually played for the Pistons. William Bedford. He got drafted by the Phoenix Suns, and he played for several teams, including the Spurs, until 1993. Currently spending 10 years in jail. And number 3, don't know who this dude is, Jarvis Critton, even though I believe he played for the Cavs at one point. Started off with the Lakers in 2007 and ended up with the Wizards in 2009. Current sentence, 23 years in jail. You're a fucking NBA player. Your minimum salary for a veteran is over $1 million a season. Yeah, veterans minimum wage is $1 million.
Yep.
And you have to commit crimes. Some of these are ridiculous crimes that they've committed, and you've made $1 million. If 2007 to 2009, that means you've spent at least 2 years in the NBA. You've made over $2 million. I've totaled up the amount of money I've made since I was 12.
Still
And I haven't broken the $2 million mark. I don't think I've broken the $1 million mark. I can imagine doing something so horrendous to some of these guys when you've pocketed millions of dollars. Now, this gentleman at number 2, he was not making that kind of money. This was he was drafted by the Hawks in 1971. Current sentence is 40 years. Is Thomas Paine. And number 1.
Out this year, then.
What's that?
When was he sentenced?
After 71.
I was like, he'd be getting out by now, then.
He might be. But I found that when you've committed a crime that gets you that much time in jail, you're not the smartest bulb in the bunch. And you're bound to do something dumber in jail. Very few idiots spend 30, 40 years in jail and without doing something stupid in jail and getting more time.
Yep.
And number 1, with a bullet, hint, hint, is Eddie Johnson. Now, there are more than one Eddie Johnsons in the NBA. One was an extremely successful and ended up being an extremely successful businessman. The other is this idiot. He is currently in jail until he dies, with no possibility of a parole, life in prison. I don't understand people when you make that kind of money and you do that kind of stuff.
Are you saying he played for Washington?
What's that?
Are you saying he played for Washington?
Played for Washington, yes. That being said, I like to address the NBA playoffs that are in the midst right now. And currently, there's a warrant out for the Phoenix Suns because nobody can find them. They didn't even show up to the last game. The Phoenix Suns got blown out in the first half.
What do you mean
by 30 points?
Quarters?
They got tossed. Luka had 27 points himself. The Phoenix Suns had 27 points in the first half. They had the same amount of points.
Did you see the interview with him about that? When they asked him that, like after the game, did you realize you had the same amount of points as the team? He goes,
yeah, I did.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, I do. You can't live, dude. You are Chris Paul, and you've been in the league for 20 years.
All right, yeah.
And your entire team just got outscored by one dude in the first half. How embarrassing is it? And then the pain came today. I mean, the pain. They decided last year. If you watched the NBA Finals, you would have saw Patrick Beverley at the end where the Phoenix Suns were eliminating him. Chris Paul just walked past him, didn't say a single thing to him. Patrick Beverley turned around and ran and shoved him to the ground for no apparent reason. Patrick Beverley's like, I just lost my temper. Anyways, they put Patrick Beverley on TV today. Not on one show, not on two shows, but he was on like 5 shows today. That dude just annihilated Chris Paul for like 4.5 hours on every one of these shows. He was on 5 shows. He just went ham the whole time on Chris Paul. It was not cool, and it was very humiliating to say the least. If Chris Paul turned on the TV, I'd have been pissed. If I was him, I'd have been pissed.
I'm pretty sure his agent probably called him and said, "Hey, you know you're being talked about right now."
No, I don't think his agent wants him to know, because that dude should lose his cool on this one. They went off on his ass for hours.
What's the big deal? Because they don't have any rings? Is that what it is?
Who, Patrick Beverley or Chris Paul?
Oh,
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul has no rings. He's has no championships at all. Patrick Beverley, he just doesn't like Chris Paul for some reason. He hates him.
So he's got one with Houston when Jay Harden was down there. No,
When who was there?
with Harden was there, but that's not true.
Harden has never won a championship. As a matter of fact, he's never shown up in a game set, a closeout game in his entire career. That guy folds like a cheap chair every time an important game comes around.
Or you can say the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No. Toronto Maple Leafs have championships. Harden has no championships.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the reason I say that is because I think I saw a stat the other day after Tampa swept them, or Tampa beat them, I mean, that they haven't won a playoff series since 2004 or some shit like that.
James Harden the other night shot twice in the second half. 2 shots. This dude in his career has averaged almost 30 points a game. He shot twice in the second half.
I thought he was with the Nets.
No, he bitched his way out of there.
Well,
He whined and cried and forced his way out of there, much like how he whined and cried and forced his way out of Houston.
Yep.
And how he whined and cried and forced his way out of everywhere he's gone. Because that's kind of what the dude does.
Where was he at then now?
Right now, he's with the 76ers.
Okay.
With Joe
I was
Embiid.
saying
That
that
was
was
the
the time I
Ben
said
Simmons
the Cavs
trade.
needed to trade for Kyrie because the Nets couldn't use Kyrie, but due to the COVID incident, he's not allowed to play in New York or Canada, which was funny because he had to play 6 games in New York, and he also had to go play in Toronto 2 times, which he cannot be played due to the COVID rule. Well, then New York, was it the last month and a half to 2 months, pulled the COVID rule off where they can play now in New York and keep going. So if the Cavs would have just made a nice trade for Kyrie, they probably would have had a nice big of a run instead of going after Rondo. But like I said, you probably could have got him for a steal because half of the games they couldn't use him.
Listen, I understand what he did with you guys in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay? But that was with LeBron James.
Yep.
That was when he didn't have all of his money. That guy has gone off the deep end. He has lost his goddamn mind. First of all, let's start off with the fact that he thinks the world is flat. I don't know about you. I'm assuming that's nuts. I'm not a Supreme Court judge, so I can't make that decision. But hey, I don't think the world is flat. And to sit there and as a grown-ass man and believe the world is flat, that's certifiable right there. Then he turns around and refuses to play in an NBA for several weeks because he was so distraught over the riots on January 6th in the Washington. So he took several weeks off.
Oh, that's
also
right.
One of the players on the Nets that did not want Harden there and threw a fit when they traded for him.
Kyrie Irving is, and that dude doesn't show up either half the time.
The worst part about it is since they pulled the mandate, they went from 12th to 10th, or was it 9th, whatever it was, to make it in. Like, he literally was the key player they were missing to put them in the playoffs. But then when they finally beat the Cavs,
They were going to make the playoffs without him.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
Yeah, they were.
but the fact of, what was it, Boston just destroyed them.
Yes, because Boston is a complete team without any selfish people on it.
Yeah, I agree.
They have 4 or 5 guys who can score the basket and will deter to the hot hand. That's what killed them. That's why they beat Milwaukee the way they did. Milwaukee's got the best player. I'd say he's top 3, top 5.
I agree.
In the Greek Freak, and they actually destroyed him. They wore him down to the point where the Greek couldn't make a freaking layup during the last game.
Nope.
Wait,
He missed like 5 layups. Huh?
You don't want to pronounce his name?
You noticed?
Yeah, I see. As soon as you said Greek Freak, I'm like, yep, he's not even going to try it.
I ain't gonna do it. Giannis.
I don't play.
Giannis.
His first name's easy.
Do I get credit for that?
Yeah, it's close enough.
All right, thank you. Because I ain't going for the F part. I ain't don't stand a chance in hell. I don't even bother.
Oh, by the way, just for Adam.
By the way, nice beard.
There we go. There it is.
Nobody cares. No, his
Are you showing us your neck?
His soccer shirt.
I'll do it again. I thought you were showing the neck.
No, just the Cleveland Crunch.
Oh, okay.
We got the Detroit. Adam's the only one that has Michigan and wants to be the wing of the Lightning.
My brother has a similar beard going on. He actually ironed it.
I shouldn't say me and the daughter split.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So we have that hot comb or whatever you call it that straightens it out.
You have the hot comb.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like that guy. He's gonna be like that guy on TikTok.
Please don't come back on the show with a burn on your face. I can't help it. I will not be able to stop myself. I'm just going to lose my shit and just go after you for at least 5 minutes.
He's gonna look like Harden trying to with the crock pot started.
Right.
You're gonna be on the mic. You're gonna have the mic going, no picture. Why? Because Suns is on. I can't handle it. He's going to hurt my feelings.
Right.
So since we're down to the championship rounds, who's your pick? Since you're the basketball guru in this.
The Warriors should win. They have a lot more talent. They have 3 incredible guards who can score at will. While the one team has 1, and everybody has to feed off him. They have several. They can run several different players at him to guard him, and Luka. And yes, I'm not going for the last name.
Don, was it Don?
Yeah, thank you. My point exactly. You can't fucker say it either. Don't be coming at me like y'all can say something. But
D-O-N-I-C?
No, it's D-O-N-C-I-C.
Or C-I-C. Oh, well, someone's been
I
fun
don't
around.
care. Anyways, Luka. They can run several players in his direction, and I just don't think they're going to be able to score with Curry and Clay, because Clay has officially got his head clearly out of his ass after the last few games. Yes, it's out. His hair is clean and everything.
Are we saying game 1 or 2 that Green's going to be ejected?
No, I don't think he's going to get ejected in this one because I think he kind of knows better right now that he needs to focus on this series right now because you play around too much because I think if he gets one more ejection, he's out for the following game as well. I think he's at that tipping point.
Out for the damn season or series if that happens.
For what?
Just because it's done. Like there's no reasons to be getting ejected because you're throwing some fit at some referee because someone sneezed. Or
have you watched an NBA game? When do they not throw a fit at a referee?
He throws a fit every time someone gets it. Like, it's in a D second. Okay.
You clearly have not seen Harden and Luka play. They spend more time crying to the refs.
Obviously, we watched the Suns game last night. Just throw the people across the field and no one blows a whistle.
That actually was a defensive foul. That guy was trying to draw one and he got his ass handed to him, but he was not set. He got in front of that dude while he was trying to dribble. That was a defensive foul. They should have called it on him. That was not on Luka.
That has made it this far, and I've been saying it all week, is MIA. Miami has finally made it to a championship game without D. Wade or LeBron James being sit on that roster, and they finally restaffed the whole damn thing and made it. Now, is it possible they can make it to a championship? Yeah, it's possible as long as they keep doing what they're doing.
They had a fantastic team in the 90s before Dwayne Wade came around.
Tim Hardaway era?
What's that?
Tim Hardaway when he was on that team?
Tim Hardaway, Alonzo Mourning. They had a hell of a team there for a while.
Wasn't Glenn Rice on that team too?
Glenn Rice was on there for a minute as well. I mean, don't throw stones at Miami because they got more championships and conference championships and NBA championships than a lot of teams.
I think it's in the bag.
I think the Celtics will get them. I think it's going to go 7 though.
So Miami versus Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
You are 100% right. It is probably. I would give it. I would give the edge to Boston, and it's a small edge.
Well, it's only because Tatum's playing out of his fucking mind right now.
That he doesn't get. I don't. They're giving him a lot of respect now, but before they don't give him a lot of. They don't normally give him a lot of respect, and he's a hell of a player. And I think because he is not one of those prima donna, I have to have the ball and score every time, give me the ball and get out of the way situations, where you have a lot of these NBA players he doesn't get the respect he deserves. He's right now, I would put him definitely top 10 in the NBA. He's inching up there to the top 5. He's damn close, in my opinion. I mean, if you're only going past the last 2 years, and I say this with understanding, we're only talking about the last 2 years. I got him well ahead of LeBron James. LeBron James, with injuries and his performance in the last 2 years, things like that. You gotta put Tatum in front of him. I mean, you don't have a choice. I mean, Davis played 1/3 of the season this year. You got to have him in front of that dude.
I wish I could make $15 million a year just sitting on a bench being injured.
Fuck that. How about Simmons? Simmons hasn't played like a year and a half. He's making like $40-50 million.
Yeah.
Screw the other ones that are actually injured. The only thing that's injured about that dude is his feelings are hurt.
I love the meme out there. Is what Tiger Woods had accomplished before Ben Simmons shot a basketball.
Yeah, that's what you really should think about. Tiger Woods had both of his legs broken, back injury, unconscious, in coma, and played before that dude has gotten on the court at a regular season game. And all he's got is hurt feelings.
And they traded for him, and they wanted him so bad.
Hey, listen, you know what? If you're looking at money-wise, it wasn't a bad trade. They got rid of Harden. And they got all the shit for Ben Simmons, too. I mean, I tell you what, you got a deal. You got rid of Harden, and you got a bunch of shit with it. Yeah, I consider them the winner. The Ben Simmons is the win. They're the winners of that trade. Oh, hi, George. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you for covering while I was out. Life happens.
I spent this entire time bitching and moaning about the NBA players.
That's
Let's
your
theoretically, let's
speciality,
say-
you know? I
Not-
wouldn't
not that it's
expect
gonna
anyone
happen.
else but that.
Oh, thank God, perfect. Of course, so he must have played that well because he knew. Oh, basketball talk's over. Let me hop in now.
I've been sitting there like 15 minutes.
I knew you were sitting in the room. I knew it. I was sitting here
Trying to
thinking,
avoid the NBA conversation.
Well, that's how Sean got in, though.
It's when you got nothing to really contribute.
Let's
Oh,
just
no.
say
I
Miami, let's say Miami
actually
goes.
let Sean in. I actually let Sean in.
Oh,
I saw Sean pop on, and I was like, oh, damn. Better let him in. Well,
There you
this
go, Suds.
this
Hold on.
segues nicely right
What?
on into our hockey discussion.
No, hold on a second. Suds, theoretically say Dallas beats Golden State, Miami beats Boston. Is this not the first time? Who was last year? Well, I'd say the first time, and there's no super major superstars on either team besides Luca.
I would say Luka's a major superstar for one. Butler is a major superstar for Miami.
Duncan Robinson.
Tatum is a major superstar.
Well, that's in Boston, though.
I'm just saying you can't eliminate a major superstar from this conversation. They all have them. They all have at least one.
Let's see,
I think in Miami, Butler is underestimated.
Seen a championship.
What's that?
What is it? Nobody on Miami has seen a championship.
So
Nobody on Dallas has seen a championship because the last one was dirt. That's gonna be a good fight. And then Boston. And then we have, of course, the Warriors, which they all have about the same amount of rings as Tom Brady does now.
now they all have like 3. Actually, Poole doesn't have any. Poole has no rings because this is I think it's his second year. That was probably one of the best draft picks of all time. One of the best draft picks. Because I don't remember exactly where Poole went.
Michigan.
No. I bet where he went in the draft for the Warriors.
It was late. If I can remember, I'll bring it up.
Any player can show up as long as they start doing no matter where they're picked. That's all that matters. When your time to come up, you better start putting it up.
What's
there.
up?
Round 1, pick 28.
So 27 other people were picked before him 2 years ago, correct?
Yeah, or 19.
Is there anybody better than him in those top 27?
I can think of off the top of my head.
He is probably one of the best draft at that number. I don't know if you can go through all of every single draft pick to find someone who's at the very bottom of the first round to be this big of a deal, to be this much of an impact. Without him, I do not believe the Warriors make the playoffs this year. Short of
19 wasn't that ball?
what's that?
19 wasn't that ball?
No, well, that was the year Zion went 1. And John
Yeah.
Morant, RJ Barrett.
I would definitely take Poole over Zion.
I'm like, I went for the banner. You didn't went for the banner. You did.
So you think Zion is a better pick than
Kyle,
Poole?
how are you, sir?
The first year, yes. Over
John
the
Morant
times,
would
no.
be. John Morant would probably be the only one I would say would be considered close enough to Jordan Poole.
Okay, but Zion, if you
Yeah,
go
hell
back to his first year, if you remember right, he was hurt during, I believe it was preseason, and he actually sat out a good portion of the beginning of his rookie season. I then got hurt again during the regular season. So even then, I still say Poole is a much better pick, even if you consider the first one. Morant, all right, I can give you that one. I mean, he's a guy who has turned a team around. He's a big difference maker. But outside of that, I would say Poole. I tell you what, you gotta give the Warriors credit. They've drafted extraordinarily well. I mean, if you go back, the last one that you say that their number one overall pick that was a high pick was Curry. Outside of that, they've drafted well throughout the first and second rounds. I mean, they put again a hell of a team. I wish the Pistons could do that.
The Cavs drafted Dylan Windler 2 picks before Jordan Poole.
Yeah, fucking morons. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't even know who the freaking Pistons picked at that point in time. I'm sure he's having a good time putting up burgers.
You can't pronounce his name, and I'm not going to try it either.
See,
Tyler Hero also came in that draft.
I'd take Poole over Hero any day of the week.
Oh yeah. Cam Reddish. He's kind of right. Kobe White.
Who?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he was on the Bulls. He was. Believe me. The only reason I know that name is because anybody was a card collector wanted all his fucking cards when he was coming out. I mean, that was the hot ticket. Everybody wanted it, and now look at it.
Dumbasses. Yeah, that's. I mean, the Pistons.
We're
Really?
done. We're done. You are rambling. You are rambling it off. We need to progress and move on to the next grouping, or we're not going to get the show done tonight. Damn it!
Look at you going and getting some new toys to play with.
Oh no, it's been there. It's about damn time to start using.
I've been on 3 shows. Haven't got to talk about NBA at all. In the 3 shows that I've been on. So yeah, fuck off.
You did good. You ran with it. It was 45 minutes straight. Nicely done. Thank you very much.
I'm looking at 39 minutes. I get 6 more.
I don't think so.
You put the clock up. You shouldn't have put the clock up and then said 45.
My bad. I'm looking at the bottom clock, not the top clock. So, into our NHL. Since now that all these game 7s are finally finished,
I just want to thank Nashville for showing up to a fucking playoff.
Well, Colorado's had some time to go out and do a little golfing. I'm sure they appreciate it.
But did Nashville? Did they really show up? Are you sure?
No, not a. They drove around the arena, but apparently got locked out.
But I mean, think about how good this first round's been. I mean, 5 of the series go to Game 7. Like, it's unreal.
And you get an in-state matchup,
which they played each other last year.
Yep. And you've got a couple of game 6s that were in there, plus all those game 7s. I mean, it does make it a lot more fun to watch hockey when you've got that. But it's like, boy, not right off the get-go in round 1. I didn't think there were going to be that many.
And
Well-
and don't forget, we've got the in-state matchup. You've also got the Battle of Alberta.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, is that
I
would that be a country battle?
But that's gonna be a fun series.
I think Colorado. I think Calgary takes that.
They could. I'm gonna throw a stat out there just because that's my thing.
We know.
Edmonton scored 26 goals in that first series. Connor McDavid was on the ice for 20 of them. When he's on the ice, they score. Obviously, the trick is going to be shutting them down, but also, obviously, it's not an easy thing.
I don't know if it was the Edmonton game or another. There was a player that was out there for like 26 minutes at one point, and I can't remember what game it was.
I hear twerping in the backfield.
That is a lot of time. You said 26 minutes?
It's like 26 total minutes or something. I don't know if it was. I saw it pop up because I was bouncing back and forth through games, so I just happened to quick see it run across the thing. And I found out why Tampa's called the Lightning Bolts.
Yeah, you check that out?
Yeah.
Well, don't leave the.
Well, come on, damn it!
I figured Adam was going to follow up with it. No, it's like
you go with it.
it's the like lightning capital of Florida or something like that. Like they seem to get hit the most with lightning.
The rumor I heard was that the owner of the team, when he bought it or something, I guess was looking for a name, and he had some sort of party or get together, and there was a lightning strike nearby. Is what I had heard, but who knows what the truth is? There's probably thousands of stories out there.
Well, or it could be though it's the cheapest logo they can come up with.
The team name came from Tampa's status as the Lightning capital of North America.
North America, okay.
They took the flash symbol and turned it blue.
That's saying a lot for,
Touche, yeah.
that says a lot for somebody that takes an old English D and calls it Detroit.
Well, and you also got that Mickey Mouse organization who nicknamed their hockey team the Ducks. So,
True.
you got that too. Not everybody gets to bypass on this bad boy.
So I finished watching
It's
the actual.
Anaheim. It's Disney. They have a fucking movie called The Mighty Ducks. What part didn't you understand?
But here's the part that throws me off about that whole thing, and it's only because I started watching the actual TV series that they have on Disney. Why at no point why wasn't Minnesota got a team called the Ducks at that point? Why did it have to be out in Anaheim?
Because Disney owned it.
Oh, well, okay, that makes sense.
And for a little comment about the D, what's the symbol? What is your guys? What's the Guardians? What does their thing look like? A baseball with 2 G's on the side of it?
It's a knuckleball, apparently.
I would leave the English D alone. You have a fucking baseball with 2 G's on it.
We don't claim it.
Hey, that's more G's than you got.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
I put the glass back down. I had it in my hand and went, nope.
Look, it's not a knuckleball. It's a 2-seam fast. It's either a 2-seam fastball or.
It's a fucking picture of a baseball. It ain't nothing but a baseball sitting there.
Yeah.
With 2 G's glued to the side.
What was it?
My son made that in art class.
Hey, let's steer it back. Need to turn
Oh, it's
around and wanna
hockey.
get-
Oh, now we
Let-
want to talk about different sports than football. Hold on a second here.
let-
I
Let's
said
talk ab-
we are turning around and we're into hockey. We are trying to turn around. I am trying to establish what the next round is going to look like. Thank
Well,
you.
let's talk about the collapse by the Penguins up 3-1 and then get swept out the last 3 games and now you're going home.
That's the only Pittsburgh team I will root for, and they fucking ruined that chance to get cheered forever again.
It's a beautiful thing.
What did I
Well,
say
no
before?
Crosby,
that's right.
no Penguins. I mean, you got to remember what the draw is.
I don't even root for their basketball team.
Oh, that was bad. Wow, Suds, your level of jokedom just went up a notch.
I'm gonna have to beat the hell out of him. He can't stay in his own lane.
Blinker doesn't work right.
So it's.
I'm saying the Canes in 5 in that game or that
I was gonna
series.
say, we've got a bunch of 1-2, 1-2, 1-3, 1-3. So, I mean, everything's pretty much right on the nose as far as talent wise. We're looking at some good matchups. So you say the Canes in 5?
Yes.
The Canes.
All right.
That's gonna be tough. I don't know because New York's not playing the way they're playing right now. I think that can go to 6, but the Hurricanes are a tough team. I'd probably go the Hurricanes in that one too.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't think there's another sweep coming anywhere. That's for sure.
No.
All these.
No.
I don't think there's any more sweeping going on. I can see Sean's point though. It could be the Canes in 5 if they're really pushing on it. If they push on it, it could be.
I'm picking the team that has the most Canadians.
We missed you, Suds.
Do the Canadians even have the
Battle of
most
Florida.
Huh?
Canadians? Does the Canadian teams even have the most Canadian team members?
Probably not.
The NHL is made up about 75% of Canadians.
And they're all sitting at home right now watching the Americans play.
All right, David says the Lightning are going to win the Battle of Florida.
Yeah.
That'll go to 7.
I'm actually
Yeah.
going to agree.
I hope it doesn't because goddamn it, I was sweating that goddamn Toronto series until I saw that stat come out that they're like haven't won a game 7 since or a playoff series since like 04 or some shit.
Has Panthers beat them at all this season?
I think they split the series. Or Panthers were up 1 out of their regular season matchups.
Were they at homes when they both won?
You have to ask the stat man on that. I don't fucking know.
Oh, don't
This
you be throwing
is
that
your
shit at me.
team. This is your team.
I'm not gonna sit there and take stats down on fucking. All right, we beat these guys 6 times out of.
That's
Because
why-
I think I think you guys might be a little underestimated in this. You said no sweep. I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa actually just pulled their heads out of their tails and shoot lights out.
The Panthers went 3-2 against the Lightning during the regular season.
Which also the Maple Leafs did too, so that doesn't mean shit.
I'm just saying.
I'm
Playoffs
rooting
are
for-
different. I know.
There's your answer.
I'm pulling for the Panthers just because that's my nephew's new team that he adopted.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. We brought up Toronto not winning a playoff series since 04. This is Florida's first playoff win since 96. Granted, they haven't made the playoffs a lot since 96.
Right.
True.
But, yeah, they've been pretty damn impressive. I just think this is one of those situations. The Lightning have been here and done it. They know what it takes. So I think Lightning take the series.
So Tampa Bay in 6.
6 or
Honestly,
7. It's
okay,
gonna go long.
out of these four
Yeah,
four
7.
series, I'm thinking at least 2 of them go 7 games again.
So probably you think this one and
The Edmonton and Calgary.
Edmonton and Calgary, the battle for Canada.
That'll be a 7-game one too. Yeah.
I think Calgary's going to beat them.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I think it'll be. If I was pulling on one, I'd probably say Edmonton might upset.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to bet against McDavid.
Right.
I'm also going to say this about.
I think Colorado's got St. Louis in 5. I think
the thing is, obviously, Colorado, they got to where they are. They earned it. And the problem is, with what they did to Nashville, you don't know if it's because Nashville is that bad or if Colorado's that good. So, I mean, we'll find out hopefully here against St. Louis. I mean, if they do it again to St. Louis, oh, God.
Yeah.
Then they're steamrolling.
Oh, yeah.
And then
it starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow's the first games.
Yeah. Come on. Where's that?
Who's got the monkeys in the background?
Going.
It's my wildlife sanctuary.
Right. Lightning and Panthers are 7:00, and Blues and Avalanche are at 9:30.
And I don't know who the chick is who's been doing. Is it the ESPN games? I think. But my God, she just needs to walk away.
The Chelios chick.
Dude, she is awful. Like, she's trying to do the play-by-play, and it's so monotone.
Oh,
it's just,
you're talking about that. Okay, I think you're talking about the other one. The one that I'm talking about, that Chris Chelios' daughter is the one that does like the interviews on the bench with the coaches.
I was going to ask you that. Did he retire, or is he still playing with somebody?
No, he's on the one of the stations when they do like their intermissions and stuff. He's on the panel, which a lot of people didn't realize that was Gretzky that was on the panel the one night. They were like watching it, didn't realize. I think, Sean, that was you, wasn't it?
dude, I'm watching it, and his name popped up, and I was like, holy fuck, that's Gretzky.
Yeah, it's Zolt is right. If Colorado definitely goes 4-1, or even, I don't think it's this week. I think St. Louis at least gets 1, but then again, I figured Nashville would also get 1, maybe 2. So who knows?
Well, the weird thing of this too is watching that Tampa and Toronto series that it took till Game 7 for the visiting team to get a win on the road. Like, what does that tell you? Like, obviously, home ice is a big deal.
Yeah. Just know it's like Canada's at least, it's still got one more squad in, going in for making the Final Four.
I tell you what, it's been a great. I mean, I'm excited just because of the fact that all the hockey series have been great so far. For the most part, like it's been it's only the first round. You know what I mean? So it can only get better.
Well, you hope it does, because
right.
you don't want the opposite where it's like, oh well, you're done in 5, you're done in 6. It's like, well, that was short lived, and then it kind of lets you down after that.
Right.
But I think, especially considering everybody who is still in it.
ESPN had a thing where you can actually try to do the pick 'em, like the college or whatever, and just for shits and giggles, I did one. I think I had Tampa and Calgary in the finals.
Well, that's okay because I put the Avs and the Lightning in.
So yeah. So we're still in it for now.
No, but I had the Avs winning.
Of course you did.
Maybe I wasn't going for 3. We're getting 1. I had the Avs getting 1. McKinnon gets 1.
And I'll say this to close out the first round. Any year in which Pittsburgh, Boston, and Toronto all get knocked out in the first round, that's a good year for hockey. It's a good year.
Yeah, because I hate Boston fan base because like if they would have had the Bruins and the Celtics still going on, like they're already bad enough, but when they have two teams towards like on a playoff run, it's like, oh god, I don't want to hear their mouth.
You're just jealous.
Nah, not really.
Alrighty, why don't we take a quick break here and come back and discuss the schedule?
Schedule of what?
Done.
Football.
The show.
The show. The show.
I was walking around with my hound one day. She come along with a poodle and it started to play. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, ooh, hot dog. I said, honey, our puppies are drawing attention. She said, come on inside, I'll show you the whole collection. Hot dog, yeah, hot dog, hot dog, ooh, hot dog. With this woman child, she dealt me three of a kind, and every one of them wild. Hot dog, hot dog, yeah, hot dog, ooh, hot dog. She said, let's spin the bottle, and we spun it mightily. When the spunner got to spinning, it was pointed at me. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. I think I'm getting lucky. Hot dog, I might be getting me some. Said she had an infomaniac sister. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, ooh, hot dog. We went out for ice cream, and I said, honey, I'm down to my stick. She said, my mouth is so dry, I wish I had something to lick. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, oh, hot dog, ooh, hot dog, hot dog. I might be getting lucky. It's hot.
Look at that. Just like that, we turn around and lost the hockey guy and both basketball guys out. But I'm bummed.
It's not really.
I got my mic not muted. Am I even on?
Not now. You're not.
No, that now he's not. And now neither's he.
I was trying to read the trivia question, and it went away by the time I started reading it.
Suds, that was last segment.
Doesn't matter. I had to do a wardrobe change. Got my own damn hockey team.
Nice. I was going to say, is anybody really going to watch Amazon Prime for football? I mean, the Thursday night schedule, they're putting it on Amazon Prime.
Will we have another option?
It ain't going to bother me none.
Well, Chargers and Chiefs, the Steelers and Browns in week 3. I mean, we'll get it. Well, we'll get it locally. We still will get our regular local broadcasting on Channel 3. But I mean, everybody else has to go to Amazon Prime to watch it.
I don't
You
know
got
if I
to
have
go to
Amazon
Amazon
Prime.
Prime to watch these games. In week 12, Buffalo against New England. I mean, everybody else, it's like, eh. I'm sorry. Week 8, the Ravens and the Buccaneers could be interesting.
I thought Thursday nights were for divisional play games.
Not always.
It's for Amazon paying them a lot of money, so they're going to give them a lot of good games.
Week 5 is Matt Ryan versus Russell Wilson as the coach.
I've been corrected.
I was about to say.
I mean,
Shut that one down, didn't you, real quick, fucker?
the ultimate standout game. Week 10, the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, we're just going to
Divisional
crash
game.
the internet to
They
watch
can't
that
all-
one.
They can't all be good. And honestly, Broncos, Colts, give me that game. I want to see that.
That will be a shootout.
Well, I'm pretty sure isn't one of the London games or one of the Thursday night games the Jags and the Jets. Like, I mean, come on, we get that shit every year. It seems.
Yeah, week 15 is the.
If you're going to send 2 teams out of the country, wouldn't you pick those 2?
I feel bad for the people that pay money to go see this, great American sport of football and they give them those 2 fucking teams.
Have you seen
That's
some
the
of
only
these?
time Jacksonville wins.
Have you seen a menu in England with the crap they eat? Okay, they'll take it.
They're hoping to bring over some of them leftovers from the United States.
Blood pudding, spotted dick. They get what they deserve.
Beans and toast, man. Beans and toast.
I mean, that's
Point
the reason
for
why
me.
Jacksonville likes to go. It's the only time they can get at least one win.
I think if we're talking schedule, for the schedule this year, I think the Thanksgiving Day games are kind of shit this year.
Are the Lions
They've been
playing?
good.
Yeah.
Well, of course the Lions are playing.
Well, then what has changed?
Right?
Wow.
It's the
There
other
is
2
one
games.
new team. There's one new team in this year.
At least there are 2 other games.
There. I think there's 3 total, isn't there?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
The problem is at the same time, so you don't have anything to flip to.
Right.
Right.
And the NFL is basically going, well, this is what you get. It's Thanksgiving. We know we own your butts. You will watch it. You will like it. You will eat it. And if you take a
It's like-
nap in between, it doesn't matter. The game is still on and the ratings still count.
And we'll
It's,
all be asleep.
Here's your game before you throw up. Here's the game to keep you entertaining while eating.
Here's the game.
And
If you're in
the-
Detroit, will make you throw up.
Truer words have never been spoken.
I was going to say, speaking of which, it's Detroit and New York.
No,
Yeah.
Detroit and Buffalo,
Buffalo.
Yeah.
the Bills, who are favored by
I'm
9.
sorry.
Look at Georgia's face.
Favored by
Yeah.
9 right now.
I am so sorry.
Damn. I thought the Native Americans got screwed.
And the jokes just keep coming.
Oh, come on. You saw that
Keep
coming.
on England.
Another comedian joins. Do people in England eat New England clam chowder?
Yeah, they eat the white.
The joke.
Yeah, but by then it's old, so it's no longer New England.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to come at me with some dumbass jokes. Stay off my screen.
That's Suds. Look, don't hate the player. Hate the game.
Listen, but it's my game, bitch.
We understand. You are the king of the bad jokes.
That's
Speaking
why I
of
put
the
the cheat
Lions.
code in.
No one should ever come at me with some jokes. It's a bad thing to do. I'm gonna eat your ass alive.
So,
Oh.
No pun intended. Damn it.
yeah.
Especially if you're Trish Stratus.
Oh Lord. Yeah. Okay.
Run to my end of the chain and bark.
Hey. All right.
Oh, there's definitely
Cowboys and Giants. Usually, I'm so used to Cowboys in Washington. But, okay, now we get the
It's
Giants.
not politically correct anymore.
You're
I think
right.
Redskins, when they had the Redskins, it should have been the Redskins and Patriots. That's what we needed to see on Thanksgiving.
Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, that too.
What? Wait, hold on. What's their new name?
The Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah. Now it's Cowboys and the Commanders.
Okay, so we got three
Hi,
games
Kevin.
that day. We got 3 games that day. Buffalo is favored by 9.
By
Dallas-
9, that's it?
Yeah. So far this season hasn't even
Okay,
started.
George, shut up. Anybody want in? Anybody want that bet? George, don't say nothing. Bring it. Don't mute me either, fucker.
Now
He
here's
doesn't
the
know,
thing.
does he?
Game 2, Dallas is favored by 8.
And they're playing the
So are we
Giants.
going to get a good game out of that day? What's the third game?
I will take I will take
Green
those
Bay and
odds with the opposite. And I'll give the Lions 8 or 9. And I'll take the Buffalo, and I'll take the Cowboys to give 8. Anybody want that? Anybody want this action?
And the Patriots are playing the Vikings in the late game.
I thought Packers
at
were in
least-
this year.
I was going to say the best game is on late.
Yeah, it's the late game. And Minnesota's favored by 1.5 right now.
Well,
Who
that's
they play?
just because they're at home.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
who are
it.
they playing
That's
again?
it.
It's in
New England.
Minnesota.
Yeah, it's in
New
Minnesota.
England? Oh. So a dome. Oh, and a dome.
Well, duh. Well, Dave says easy Vikings win.
There you go, stud.
Suds. Oh.
Who is this person, and can he kill me?
He lives in Florida. It would take him a minute to come up to get you.
All right, I'll take it. Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Now, it's kind of funny because all those international games, it has to be the West Coast squad that goes for Mexico because that's the time they want to keep it in the current time slot that they're going to play with. So it always ends up being one of those teams. I think once you might have had the Packers sprawled over there. I think once. Otherwise, it's always been a West Coast team that always plays over there.
It's the Niners and Cardinals, ain't it?
Yep. And the Cards lose a home game because of it. And
But not really, because they get the money out of
that's
the
a divisional, and it's a divisional matchup game. I mean, granted, I don't think the 49ers are going to be doing squat anyway, but
What is with this?
is
Like,
what it-
we're
Ooh. Treading on water. Ooh.
I'm sorry. Doesn't Minnesota still have Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And a pretty good running back and a couple of good wide receivers still.
who's the
Sorry,
So
running
it's
back?
Kirk Cousins.
I was going to say.
Are we
Kirk
talking about the
Cousins
same running
is
back that was like in every other game?
Dalvin Cook? Oh, now you're going to make me look.
Oh, wow. Zolt muted himself. It's like, damn it.
Actually, I think Cook did pretty well last year staying in the season. I don't think he got knocked out that often.
He won't be this year.
He was in 13 games
13 out of 17.
out of 17. Yeah.
So he
Which
only missed 4
year-
games.
14 the year before, 14 the year before that.
I think he had a
so-
concussion. That's why he was out. So you can't blame him for being out for a concussion.
He'll be out for the rest of the season this year.
This is the NFL, and he's a running back. They're going
Well,
to
you
get
know-
hurt.
Go ahead and draft him in the draft acres, and if that shit'll come true. Because anytime anybody you fucking draft running back wise is out within week 2 anyway.
Right?
Stay the fuck off McCaffrey this year in any fucking draft you're in.
Only the important.
Yet you
draft.
left Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt wide open for his ass. Way to go. Way to be a Cleveland Browns fan. I hope please draft Chubb, Nick Chubb, please.
Where does it say that one's too small?
That's what she said.
I know. I think a relative.
Oh, his brother.
Drafting. When you stretch the words out like that, that makes it real like dinky to read.
Quit trying to read it off the iPad. You'll be fine.
I don't have the iPad no more.
He's talking about the coach that was drafted from Georgia.
Who, Mac?
I don't know who the guy is.
Well, you wonder on how much the German fans are kind of PO'd because they threw Seattle and Tampa Bay, and they're not getting Russell Wilson versus Tom Brady. They're getting somebody versus.
They don't even know who they're getting versus Tom Brady. They might be getting Drew Brees.
Hey, Tom Brady is selling itself. They'll sell out the stadium just because of him.
Yep.
True. And definitely it'll be a slaughter.
The funny thing about that is the Panthers are still trying to go after Baker.
Hey, there's so many fucking rumors.
Baker actually agreed to go to Carolina.
Yeah, because he doesn't do anything to get the fuck out of Cleveland right now.
And it's the first game to start the season. Why not? Why not? If, like I said, if you're not afraid of him, you're willing to give up on him, and someone's willing to actually take him to whatever the trade cost may be, if it's going to clear the $18 million or not, I don't really like. That's the only thing they're not explaining on what's in the deal. Is that the only thing they're saying right now is that Carolina has offered twice for Baker, and Cleveland has turned them both down. And on the second time, Baker actually said that he agreed to the terms of the Carolina trade.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Baker wants. It's a team-to-team trade. It's not a team to a player.
Correct. I understand. But they were just saying that,
no trade.
No, but if you're sitting there talking about how this player is making a huge connection in your locker room and you want him out badly, then get him out of there.
But I think if Baker decides, if Baker tells Carolina, okay, I'm coming over, but I am not signing an extension of any kind, and you're giving up draft picks for a guy who's refusing to sign more than 1 year, then you need to have him agree to trade in order to get a long-term contract. So you have this guy on contract if you believe Baker is your answer.
Well, the biggest problem is that the Browns don't want to eat the $18 million. That's the problem. They want somebody else to eat some of it.
Move on.
You're eating 18 regardless.
Well. Looky who we got sneaking in the back door.
What's up,
That's
fellas?
not what she said.
How are you, Mr. Bennett?
What's up, guys? How are we?
Who the fuck is this guy?
You got room to talk.
Someone turn that light off.
Live from Mud City.
How about you turn your TV off because you're like a blinking light?
I can't. She's watching First 48. She's waiting for your episode to come across.
Actually, I'm watching The Last Dance, but whatever.
So what's good, Red?
A whole bunch of nothing, man. Working.
You guys make some money yesterday?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
No shit.
We went 9-3 between me, Clav, and Roy. No shit, we did $5,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good for you.
Yep.
That's awesome.
The 2 tables cost us $40. We really couldn't have asked for much more.
Nope.
And I was just being a smartass when I threw that comment out there about you need to come local. He's like, find me a show. I'm like, well, shit, I wasn't.
Oh no,
that.
I said something to him. I was like, man, we got a whole bunch of stuff, and we didn't even sell probably a quarter of the stuff that we actually have. In all honesty,
what was the majority? Cards?
No, actually, like as bad as it sounds, and I'll only say it on here because I know the guy's not on there, but I had a guy buy a lot of stuff that I just didn't want to carry home. You know, a lot of stuff that you're just like, man, whatever. Just I'll make you a smoking deal on it. Just get it away from me and out of my house.
and believe it or not, a lot of guys on a Sunday will do that. It's like, just make a deal, make an offer, and go.
And it was we had a blast, man. We met some people. Honestly, I think we were. I shouldn't say lucky, but a lot of these shows around here, you see the same people all the time. So when it's somebody new, there's new product and new stuff. There was a lot more things to go through, and people kind of, stuck with us for a long period of time. I mean, we had a blast, man. We had an absolute blast.
Do you come to Michigan at all?
I mean, we will. I mean, this is literally the first sit down show we've done kind of together. We had every intention of breaking there in the whole 9. But there was just no time. There was no time. We had jerseys, we had boxes, we had all sorts of stuff. There's just no time to kind of set something up, sit it, run it, and have somebody be able to record it. There was just not enough time.
And
we would though. I mean, at this point, we know. I was shocked with what sold, and then stunned with what didn't sell. It was kind of, oh, I got some Brown stuff, or I got some Ohio State stuff, or whatever, or some Pittsburgh stuff, and I thought all that stuff would sell because it's, I was wrong. A lot of Viking stuff. It was kind of weird, but.
So what was the helmet you guys had there? Was that a Georgia helmet?
It was the Nick Chubb one, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I seen it sitting there, and I figured it was either Chubb or Swift or somebody along those lines.
Chubb, and I thought that would go. I was like, oh, Browns, it'll go. A lot of people ask, but here it is. One of the things I still have, I really didn't want to carry home with me, but whatever.
Well, you would think if that's his Georgia helmet, they would have sold it and winning the championship this year.
Well, and that's why when you said something about Cleveland, I'm like, shit, we'll get closer to Cleveland. That thing will go. I mean,
yeah, there's a show in Strongsville and Independence both that are a once a month thing, and I've got a link for you for that too.
I does anybody, because I belong to a page that shows you all the shows for the state of Ohio. You asked about Michigan. Is there a page like that kind of tells you the Michigan shows that might be around?
Well, now you gave George a task.
I was gonna
there
say,
you go. Hey, you got a guy in the chat that says, "Oh, buy that Chubb helmet right now. How much?"
Oh, I told Broadbander $200 shipped.
Well, he's in Florida, so.
Oh, is that David?
Mm-hmm. Big Browns fan.
$200 shipped. It would go out Wednesday. I'm in Columbus all day tomorrow, so I wouldn't be able to ship it till Wednesday. But I mean, I have the box. I can get it. Oh, I can get it around and get it packaged up, but I wouldn't be able to ship till Wednesday.
That's not really fair. If you just heard what he was saying about bets and who was going to win, you're taking advantage of somebody who's clearly special.
Wow.
I got that Baker helmet.
Keeping the joke coming.
Huh?
I see. I was like, how do you see the comments? I figured it out.
Suds just keeps the one-liners coming.
Yeah.
But no, I've got it's the GSC group that is over in Strongsville and Independence. They flip-flop it back and forth once a month between the two. The Sheffield Lake one, it's a smaller house one that's done, but he's got one once a month as well. Get
your boy Jason.
What's up, Nicky?
And the thing is, too, if it's one of those situations where you come to a local show and you need help setting up, I'll come help. I'm sure George would. I mean, just give us a buzz,
And what was crazy is up until Saturday, we only had one table, and I'm like, I have Roy coming from like the Lima area, and we never talked about exactly how much we had, but I knew in my head, I'm like, there ain't no fucking way we're all gonna fit on one 8-foot table. There's no way.
No.
And I went and bought a display case from our local dealer here, and he was like, "Oh, if you want another table, you got it." And I was like, literally less than 24 hours before, I was like, "All right, guys, we're good. Everything, we got 2 tables now."
Yeah,
so,
the guy in Sheffield even does a really nice job, and it's a pretty wide open, entryway and everything. So whatever you want to bring in.
What's crazy is us being as big as, well, I mean, as far as the city goes, there's only 2 little small shows that are local. I mean, and you might be talking, like the one we did yesterday was coin and card, and there probably was, I don't know, maybe 50 tables, and that's if they were all full. And it's crazy to think that just as big as we are, there wouldn't be one bigger. Like the one in Lima we went to in the winter, it was like 300 tables. It took up it was all downtown Lima, and it was
Did
in
you
a
catch
big
that?
ass convention center there.
Did you see what he
And
just
the one
posted?
in Strongsville and
He said he'll
Independence.
take the helmet.
Okay.
Yeah, David, we'll get you the information. I'm sure we'll have Adam get with you guys and set it up.
Already on it.
Yeah. The Independence and Strongsville ones, they're a larger show too, and yeah, these guys have everything. I mean, they've got men, they've got jerseys, they've got cards, they've got a little bit of everything.
And really, I'm going into this, and I'm like, there's coins there, so there's older people, and I'm like, I'm a loud, boisterous person, and I had to dial it back because I mean, it was just an older crowd with them coins. It's just naturally what it is. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to get yelled at by my grandmother or my grandpa right now, so let's just dial it down. But we had fun. Like I said, it was the first one. At the end of the day, I thought I did something. I had some money in my pocket. Clive trumped me. Roy trumped me. I was like, all right, whatever. I got rid of some stuff. We had fun. So, no, I'd like to make it out. I'd like to make it out there just to a bigger city. I mean, like I said, for $40 collectively, for us to come out the way we did, we had a ball.
So what's the big ticket thing now that is popular amongst the collecting world, would you say, or memorabilia world?
Well, what's crazy now is, if believe it or not, the Kobe stuff has died. Like, you can get Kobe pretty cheap now. Right after his passing, everybody jumped on that train and drove the price up, and it ran good for, I don't know, 18 months, 2 years, and it just kind of tailed off. Like, I kept telling myself, like, I'm gonna get a Kobe auto. I'm gonna get a Kobe auto. And they went from like,
off.
Yeah,
it's died off.
It
Nobody else is catching these jokes.
And
nobody else is going there.
Right. We're trying to be respectful.
But obviously the person up right now is Luka. I mean, what he did to Phoenix. I mean, what he did to Phoenix in that series, what he did last night. Luka stuff's through the roof. It just it gets legs and it's going. I had a guy.
It is. You got to find that right time, to get rid of everything.
Absolutely. And some people, I mean, you should have seen the guys there. Like, I don't want to bash on Adam's guy, but these guys that held on to Baker as long as they did yesterday, almost giving that stuff away. And I'm like, dude, 2 years ago, that thing is $500 to $1,000, and you're trying to literally give it away right now.
I highly recommend you get rid of everything that has Luka's name on it, because they're about to get their ass whooped.
But that's the thing, that he has a country following him. So say they do lose, he's still going to get pushed based on what he did with Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this would be the peak, though, wouldn't it? I mean, if he gets his ass handed to him against, then you see a small decline. This would be probably his peak.
Well, it'll be for this season, probably, yeah.
Because he's going to get his ass kicked.
And I know I feel bad for you guys too in a sense, Jason, because I know when you guys were doing the basketball shit, everybody wanted the Zion, and my God, what a bust he's become.
Well, and the one kid, what's his name? Bramante has the autographed basketball. It's a silver all the way through. It's for a whole name, first and last name. And I'm like, hey, I'll buy it if you want. He sat on it. And then I'm like, at this point, it's like disrespectful to even ask. Like, hey, I'll buy it from you.
Yeah. Would you like $1?
Right. I mean, I'm sure there's value there, but you're like, man, I'm not trying to kick somebody when they're down. Like, you got to play that game.
Is so low right now.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Even if he comes back, he's going to have to seriously ball out this next season to increase the value at all. You got to hold on to it for another at least year, if not 2.
Yeah.
Because right now he's pathetic. He's pathetic as a basketball player currently.
About all it is it would look cool sitting next to my Luka basketball up there, but beyond that, even a year, I don't know, 8 months ago, I would have took it. But
it'll make my Baker helmet worth more.
Ooh, you could flip that Baker helmet upside down and fill it with ice cream, and it's worth more.
Still feeling
dangerous. You got a Luka signed basketball. Oh man, that's big money right there.
Oh, he's gonna show you.
Good. Sweet.
Yeah. And that one I'll probably never sell. I don't really care what would happen. I just dig the dude. He is what he is.
Yep.
So we're
Oh
done.
yeah, I got a basketball downstairs in my basement from Isaiah Thomas signed. Best, best wishes.
Did
You
you
know, on
ever
my
complete
birthday.
your Aaron Rodgers set?
No. Well, the new product came out, so now every time you look up, it's 2021. Trying to find 2020 is a pain in the ass right now. I'm like 4 away. I don't want to say 4 away. I haven't bought one in a while, but
Well, cause I know you were sharing it for the longest time. You're like, my God, this like, and you share the price, and it's like, holy shit! Like,
but it doesn't. It just doesn't stop. There's like 28 of them, I think, and I think I have like 23 of them.
What are these?
The mosaic.
Just
Oh,
stay
the
by the
cards?
shelf.
Just stay by the damn thing.
No, look, it is. They are
The whole
all.
set.
Yeah, he
And the
collected.
rest of them are there in a pile, but
He collected every version of Aaron Rodgers. He's trying to get every version from that set.
yeah,
There were so many different parallels of
so many different ones that, and like I said, now to find them on eBay is next to impossible because that's obviously where I was getting them from, was searching there and chasing them down. I mean, like I said, I haven't bought one probably in 5 months or so, I'd say.
Well, the base master is only missing the Tom Brady stained glass. That's the only one missing out of it.
Isn't
That's
that the
the
one
base-
we found and it was like
The
like
base
it's skyrocketing?
base master. Base master set is just missing the Tom Brady. That is all that's left.
Your guys'
So-
card collection.
What's the value? I mean, are helmets through the roof right now? Is that why you guys ain't doing as many helmets in the group as you used to?
No, I think the helmets are actually down. Like, people, I don't know if it just got hot at the right time or what it was, but it's kind of the same thing. People that got them held on to them too long. They have a big price tag on them, and a lot of stuff sits. You had a lot of quarterbacks dive, but really nobody kind of took their place. When Baker took a dive, who replaced him? Burrow was still hot for being the number one pick. Lamar Jackson's still hot. Ben retired, so his stuff kind of, I mean, you had a lot of guys either retire or dip off, but nobody really took their places. I mean,
When
as
they
far as that's
retired, does the
concerned.
price go up or down?
It all depends on how they retire.
It's in my opinion, if he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, his price is going to it should raise a bit, I would say.
Yeah.
Closer to when he goes in?
Yeah,
Because
well,
Ben is going in. I mean, for sure.
Oh, bet I would put my money on it. Absolutely. I would say he's
the
first ballot.
ballot.
Absolutely. But
Because I'm just like waiting for you guys to do some more helmets. All these other damn groups are getting way too fucking expensive. They start out at a certain rate, and then they start getting all these higher end helmets. And
what's funny is I literally have 3 coming in tomorrow. You said it, and I have 3 coming in tomorrow.
You doing full sizes? Is that what you're still doing?
Yeah. I'll have 3 tomorrow. I mean, I have the 4th and goal box. I have the shoe. I have the basketball shoe, which I literally bought like on an impulse, and I have no idea why I bought it, but there it is.
When you say full size helmets?
Yeah.
Like what size? Because they might know fuller than this. This how this head's.
You can't put it on. They've got a plate over it. That's what the Baker helmet's from.
Yeah.
The Baker helmet came from him. The one
Oh, it can't go on your head?
Actually, both. Kansas City.
I'm not
City.
joking.
No, the Kansas City came from you. The Kansas City came from somebody else. That's right.
Jim Brown. Is that asking about Jim Brown?
yeah.
Jim Brown, if you find it, Jim is pretty high because he's Cleveland royalty, and nobody can bash him one way or another. I'm a Packer fan, and I can't bash the man.
Should be able to.
Cleveland fans, Cleveland loves him. And in his older age now, you're seeing his stuff starting to pick up where people are starting to buy a lot of it, and his value is going up.
Josh has got Brown.
Well, our Gross does. He's got a picture, maybe a helmet, and a couple other things, but that's stuff that even if I had it, I wouldn't sell it. I mean, it's one of them guys. There's probably about 10 guys that's not from my team that if I could actually get, it's something I'd probably never sell. And Jim Brown would definitely be one of those guys.
How old is Jim Brown now?
Jeez, 85, 84. Played in the 50s?
Yeah.
86.
86.
Just turned 86 in February.
Probably the most respected man, I mean, in the NFL circle today. I mean, I'd probably second to none.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, agreeable.
So who do you expect to be the hot rookie out of this class?
You got to look. Jamison Williams is done for the half the season. I don't think if Pickett plays, it's going to be a sad situation as far as I'm concerned for right now.
That was
I mean,
a moneymaker anyways.
Oh, absolutely. The kid never left his stadium. I mean, he just went to the door to the left. I mean,
Right?
he's not really going far. But I mean, you've seen it in the draft with the receivers in general. Garrett Wilson, Olave, the Drake London kid. I think you're going to see a lot of those guys in their situations really excel with what kind of is around them. Like the Jets have nowhere to go but up. I mean,
no.
That's it. They don't have the field.
Did they go 17 last year? So
No, I
they
said
can still go down.
Nah. They definitely got better in the draft.
The fuel cost is going to take them down.
They got better in the draft.
Yes, they did.
But I mean, you're probably going to see your impact guys probably second and third round. How many defensive player, offensive linemen, or defensive linemen went in the first round? Yeah, you had the receivers, but outside of the receivers, you had one quarterback, no running backs.
My prediction is every wide receiver was taken by the Green Bay Packers because they have nowhere else. Aaron Rodgers has no one else to throw to.
Somebody better step up.
I seen in that draft that they clearly said, we're just going to stop people from scoring as much so Rodgers doesn't have to score as much.
You don't think Rodgers said, hey, get this wide receiver?
No.
I think Rodgers took that big money, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Yep. Agreeable.
And if you look at, I mean, I'm not going to get on my high horse about Christian Watson because I don't know much about him, but obviously the draft, they're saying that he's the second most athletic as far as on paper since Calvin Johnson, as far as a wide receiver being drafted. What's that equate for? I have no idea because who's number 3? Nobody can tell me. So, I mean, the kid, he might be good, he might not be, and I still think we're gonna take either Julio or Beckham. And my heart tells me one of the two, and I thought it would be Jarvis, honestly, but I think they'll go get one of those guys still.
I said that to George the other day too. I
thought Jarvis Landry signed with the Saints.
Yeah,
he did.
1 year, $6 million.
That's what he just said.
We were hoping that he would sign with somebody else. That's what he was saying.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't understand that either, but I mean, I can understand going home. Yes, going back home to take that signature. But if you're saying that you're going to pick a team because you're looking for a winning team,
the Saints were it.
Yeah, no, because that whole division is going to get messed up.
Nicky T's hoping the Colts get Julio, which makes sense.
Dave says the Bears are going to win the division.
The Bears, you're talking about a team that needs a wide receiver? The Bears have no chance of winning the division.
I always kind of root for the Bears a little bit, but even I'm not that crazy.
Even Suds went, I'm not taking those bets this year. Sorry.
They took first round bust, Dante Pettis. They just signed him. And then they took Geronimo Allison, who hasn't played in 2 years, who used to be a Packer and used to be a Lion. So after this year, he'll be a Viking, and he can say he ran the NFC North. But you have a stud at wide receiver, a great running back, and you gave him no help. Like in the draft, you gave Fields no help.
No help.
So let's say Darnell Mooney is that guy. I'll say Mooney's the guy. Fine. Your first or second round tight end Komet from 2 years ago hasn't panned out. Jimmy Graham's over the hill. And who's the other wide receiver? I mean, there's just nothing there.
I never thought it was a good idea to take anybody named Geronimo. It never worked out well for him.
That's when you throw it up and just yell.
They drafted the kid Jones in the 3rd round, and I think that's just throwing.
Is that the kid out of Tennessee?
Yeah, they're just throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it's
look at his age. He's like 26.
Oh,
That's like drafting a quarterback at 27.
I forgot Robinson went to the Rams.
I mean, that team's ridiculous, but whatever.
Right.
Last time they won a Super Bowl, they dropped everybody off their team.
But Chicago dropped everybody off their team? Is that what you
No,
said?
the Rams.
Shit, they got everybody back. They lost Von Miller, but was Miller that big of a changer? I mean, I'd rather have Leonard Floyd as far as age goes, and I wasn't going to give him $100 million like the Bills did. I mean, you don't give Von Miller at what, 32, $100 million, 33, whatever he is.
Ooh, we're definitely going to be having Adam. You are going to have to exchange that information. Apparently, there is a bet lined up, and Suds isn't involved.
Oh, I'm sure all you have to do is send David the link. He'll gladly join us one week. You guys can all hash it out on air.
He's like, send it.
Which bet is he taking from? Which bet's he going to take from Suds?
No, I said Suds isn't part of the bet.
Oh,
Oh God, Nikki's got the question right now. Who's in the Super Bowl? Before the season even starts.
That's a hell of a question.
Everybody right now would jump on. I mean, the Rams have done nothing but get better offensively. I think Allen Robinson makes that offense better.
She didn't say win the Super Bowl, so you can just go make to the Super Bowl. So,
but who else has done? I mean, has Tampa Bay gotten better? Okay, they got Brady back, but has the team collectively gotten better?
yes.
do they have to get better?
Yeah, the thing about it is yes, they have by getting their injured players back.
All they got to do is make the playoffs, and then he just basically almost marches to the Super Bowl.
And remember, different head coach. Arians stepped away. Arians is not going to be.
Let's not forget they lost. He lost two of his wide receivers and his running back.
Yeah,
And
he's
so far,
but he's getting his man
Gronkowski
receivers back.
And so far, Gronkowski is a no.
I think right now the
that's
NFC.
untrue. He's coming back because he wants to break that quarterback tight end or that quarterback receiver reception of Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. That's all they need is 4 TDs and it's over.
I would think that the NFC would be easier to choose than the AFC because if the AFC getting stacked like they are now with other quarterbacks, especially out of just the West Division alone, the NFC would probably be an easier to pick one team than it would be for the AFC.
Hey, if you want to argue about something, who wins that West out there with the Broncos, the Raiders, and everything that's going on out there? Furthermore, if you're going to pick a winner, who comes in dead last in that division?
Seattle. No, I'm sorry.
That's the wrong one.
And somebody has to, like you said, somebody's got to finish first in that division.
I'm with Kevin. I like the Bills in the AFC. I think I like what they do offensively. I think Josh Allen can do what he wants, but I mean, different story, different day. But everybody got quiet when I asked the question: who wins that West out there?
Nick turns around and says the Raiders. I know that John Wren would also turn around and agree with that. Doug would agree with that.
I think
my answer is the Chargers.
Yeah, I agree with. I hate to say it, I agree with fucking Suggs.
What was that?
Oh fuck!
Chargers. Chargers.
Suggs just went, no, stay off my wagon.
Damn, wagon jumping motherfucker.
Who's gonna finish at last place? It's gonna be Denver. I'm sorry.
Denver's
gonna be last.
And they could be last with what, a 9-8 record?
Yeah.
They could be dead last, be over 500, not make the playoffs, and you spent the draft picks and the money on Russell Wilson for you guys to come in dead last in a stacked division. He might retire before he could actually win that division with how young everybody else is in that division.
There you go, Suds. There's your bet. Nicky T says he'd be willing to bet the Chargers would finish last.
No.
Who is Nicky T anyways?
I love it. Who is that guy? Who is this guy?
No, I wasn't being rude. I honest to God don't know who he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I wasn't being rude.
He's one of my guys. One of my buddies.
I apologize. I wasn't trying to be rude. I didn't know who the dude was.
Oh, it's just funny.
Braybander, what's happening?
It puts the little fella in his place. I like it, Suds. Put the little fella in his place.
Nice.
I only slam people that when they try to cut on me or say something stupid, then it's on like Donkey Kong.
Let's just say 2 of those teams make it in, like we said. Are we
Oh,
saying
2 of those teams are making. 2 of those teams are making it in.
You're saying guaranteeing that Kansas City's going to make it in?
I didn't say that.
Said 2 of those teams.
I'm the opposite. I don't think, and this could be me bashing my guy from last year. I don't think Adams does with Carr what he did with Rodgers, and everybody thinks he's going to catch the world on fire. If anybody in this chat thinks Carr is a portion of what Rodgers is, even this late in his career, I'll fucking log off. You guys are all delusional.
Okay.
No,
before you log on, hold on for a second.
Wait a second before you go there.
I'm not saying Roger. He's any.
Hang on. Let me tag it first. Relax. Everybody is trying right now. They want to catch the lightning in the bottle of the college matchups. College quarterback with their college receivers. That's technically what the Raiders have done here. They're going to try to do it old man style. I don't think it works. I agree with you. How long
ago was that?
It's almost 8
years
ago.
He's the class of 2015. And
7 years.
In Fresno State, and what conference was that? And who was he playing against? Yeah, he hung big numbers. Let's not argue that.
Right.
Still was a second round pick that Green Bay found. Call it what it is. I still like Renfro in that offense. Clive got mad at me when I said it, but I'd be willing to say that there's going to be a huge layoff from one quarterback to the next. And you're playing in
that's
that
the
division.
thing, though. That's the thing. Instead of comparing Rodgers and Carr towards each other, look at the weapons that Carr has and how much better he'll look because of the weapons he has. He'll not be Rodgers, no. But with the weapons he has on offense, he's going to look a lot better than what he really is. He may look like Rodgers because of the weapons he has. He might be extremely successful. I mean, you just mentioned his other wide receiver. What is his name?
Hunter
Renfro. And then you got Adams. And then you got Walker. And they have Waller. Then they have a group of running backs that are pretty good. They have a damn good offensive line. I mean, this dude, he may not be Rodgers, but does he need to be?
Well, here's the thing too, is that with how you guys brought up Hunter Renfro, with Josh McDaniels now being there, could he be like his version of Edelman was in New England?
I forgot about that. No, so now the Raiders are not winning the division no more because I totally forgot that Josh is there.
Well,
I mean, Renfro could be the Edelman though.
Not just on offense, but also on defense too. You got to remember they improved on defense too.
So
no, we're not comparing Rodgers to Carr.
So
no, you can't.
Also, you got to think of the amount of money that was dumped into the Raiders. What do they get? 2 years maybe before they implode it and start getting rid of people?
Oh, they have
yes.
to. That's,
I mean,
they're doing the same thing like Cleveland just did.
Let's say they come in third in that division. They don't make the playoffs this year. Now it's really on them come next year. And what happened? Everybody else around them is still younger.
Yep.
Right,
at quarterback and some of the other positions. And you're going to pay Devontae Adams $40 million, $37 million for you not to make the playoffs.
But how much are they paying Wilson to come in last?
Well, they're really not paying Wilson. They're paying Wilson off the Seahawks contract, right? So whatever that Seahawks contract was, because it was a trade. Right?
Yeah.
So whatever that contract was at that time. But at this point, $30 million for a starting quarterback is a bargain. I mean, in today's NFL. That's why Garoppolo at $25 million, everybody had him as the best value. He's getting paid $25 million to take them to the NFC Championship game. Baker's getting paid $18 million this year to refuse to play.
He's not refusing to play. They want to stick him in there. He'll play.
He will never put a Browns uniform back on.
Yep.
He is so disrespected about the scenario. There's no way he puts that fucking uniform back on.
I agree with that.
Hell, he was invited to the Bahamas and he said no.
He might show up to practice and collect his $18 million because it's guaranteed. And they picked up the 5th-year option, which is a very Browns thing to happen. You picked up $18 million and then signed the biggest quarterback contract in history, all guaranteed, and you've pissed them off. So now you owe somebody $18 million who's never going to play.
18.5 in the hole right now.
He will not. And what's he worth? Who's going to give you $18 million for Baker Mayfield? And we've already went through the draft. If he was going to go, it would have been during the draft.
That's what we all said, but that was the thing. I guess they wouldn't trade him during the draft. There were teams calling for him, but they kept saying no.
Okay,
I'd be willing to bet that Baker never steps foot inside the training facility.
Well, if he wants his money, he has to still go to practice.
Yeah, he's gonna
they can find him. They can find him and all that stuff if he really cares. But
he's going to show up with a bucket, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Go ahead, Zolt.
I've got a question about Baker, and this might be a stupid question. Is he healthy?
From the shoulder?
Just his shoulder?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows right now. He hasn't done anything yet, so we're still waiting on
the gamble.
Medical reports and seeing on how it healed. Nobody said anything yet.
That's the gamble right now. That's
not even Baker has said anything.
Yeah.
That's a very good question because not even Baker has even mentioned that he's healthy and he's ready.
He still says he's rehabbing. Is all you hear.
Yep.
Well, that means that it's
you're getting $18 million. Are you going to say you're not healthy?
Doesn't matter. It's guaranteed.
That's
I am curious to see if he does. It would be awful ironic if he would go to Carolina and we play them week 1.
But see, Carolina drafted a quarterback. They're paying Darnold.
They're not fully strongly on who they drafted though.
But you paid Darnold the money he's getting, which was I don't know $20 million or whatever he's getting this year, and you're going to bring in a guy as a backup $18 million.
Is that money guaranteed for Donald?
Well, they haven't cut him, and it's past March, so now money's guaranteed, right?
No, I don't think so.
When's the roster bonuses due? It was like March 28th or 29th.
Well, I don't know what his contract is.
Yeah.
And whether or not his money is guaranteed, don't know. Because if I'm not mistaken, Donald is on his rookie contract. So his money isn't.
He was 2018, so his rookie contract should have been last year was a 5th-year option. 18. This might be the 5th-year option. Yeah, okay, but 5th-year option for a quarterback, he's still 18-20 million would be his 5th-year pickup of an option.
Well, yeah, he was the same year as Baker because remember that was the whole thing about.
Yeah, so it'd be the same amount, and he was same thing. When Seattle has Drew Lock and Geno Smith and doesn't trade for you, there's a problem.
Not really. I don't think trade. In my opinion, trading for this guy is not in your best interest. Cleveland's got to make a move.
No,
they're not going to sit there and keep $18 million.
$18 million.
The move is to the checkbook to cut the check for make him go away.
So he's going to leave. So you don't really have to. I think the odds are they're going to just cut off and fucking wait until the very last minute and let him go.
How funny is it going to be if Drew Brees comes out of retirement and goes to a team before Baker gets traded?
Well, he's got stats on his name.
I think his rights are still owned by the Saints now.
On the 5th, he is also on the 5th year, and it's 18.85.
So you'd have both of them there paying him $18 million in Carolina.
It won't be the dumbest thing Carolina's ever done.
He just said paying Wilson $35 million is cheap.
If you're comparing Russell Wilson to Baker and Darnold, there's that Super Bowl that Russell Wilson's won that says that he's worth that 30 whatever odd $1 million.
I think they're just going to wait until Cleveland is either going to drop him completely or giving him away.
If Cleveland drops him completely, that fishing line over from that state that sucks so much over here, nothing but black and gold, is going to throw that fish line out of there and hooktail him quick.
No, Cleveland won't cut him outright. They know that there is value there. That's why they will not let him go. He may not show up in the building. They will tell him, you don't need to come into the building.
Yep.
They
We'll
are
give you the
paying
18
him
million. We're
either
not going
way.
to fine you. We're just going to let you stay out.
No, they are
gonna fine
paying
him.
him either way.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're basically going to stay. They're not going to fine you. They're not going to like if you don't show up practice, don't care. Don't even do it. That's what I'm stating. Like if you're not that afraid of them, then trade them with whatever team is giving you something instead of just lose anything. Trade them to like if you lose $5 million, okay, so you save 13 million in the same process,
So
and you gain a couple of picks in the same process.
here's a little thing. They actually got to let him into the state. They got to let him into the training facilities and things like that in the practice. They can't just do that. It actually violates the union rights.
Only he is medically cleared from the shoulder surgery. Yes.
Yep.
And in the bigger ordeal where they're waiting on the movement will be finalized by this week when the NFL investigation is announced as far as what their findings are and what the situation is with Watson. So by Friday, we will all know what the status is of what Cleveland will have under center going into this year.
Jacoby Brissett has a better chance of starting a game for the Browns than Baker Mayfield does in this upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Hence another reason why they signed Brissett. You signed a quarterback and a backup quarterback with $18.5 million in guaranteed money still on your bench.
How
That
much
will
they
never take
paying
another
Brissett?
step. Less than
Seven or eight.
$18.5 million.
I was gonna say that's the minimum contract. I see.
I bet you it's more than a minimum contract.
No, it was just a 1-year minimum contract. So
Really?
yeah.
So what is
Wow.
that? $2.5 million?
Didn't he just become wasn't he just a starter 2 years ago?
His cap hit
Miami?
is 4.6.
Or Indy.
4.6.
That's not
4.6
minimum,
for his cap
is
hit.
it?
Yeah,
Well,
but how much of that's guaranteed?
Yeah, I don't know.
hang on.
It's that dollar amount. If they wouldn't have picked up the fifth-year option,
Office.
that $18.5
Signing
million
bonus.
wouldn't be on the table.
His signing bonus was $3 million. His base salary is 1.5.
So how much hits the salary cap? 2, something like that.
No, the
2.5.
The cap hit is 4 and 4. It's hang on, 4.6 is the cap hit. For
So now $2 million and a backup quarterback and the backup's quarterback, and you're screwed. At $22 million, and you did. So let's say this happens. The NFL decides to nail Watson. I don't think that's going to happen this year, anyways. I think they'll get him next year. And they go ahead and nail him this year. You go and you're out Watson, and now you start Brissett, and Baker's the backup. So $22 million, and you're out of Watson, and you're probably not going to win your division if Watson gets suspended.
And that makes Houston so much better now because of all the picks.
Houston sucks, no matter what. Just forget about them. They're barely in the NFL. You might as well play in the Canadian Football League.
no, I mean, I'm not going to forget about Houston because they actually make me feel slightly better as a Detroit fan.
Fair enough, sir. Why did you mute yourself? You deserve a laugh on that one.
I always do. I can still hear the laughter even when I'm muted. So
I know, but you deserve the laugh too. Unless you have some ridiculous laugh that we don't know about, you deserve to laugh. I mean, you're better than crying. You are a Lions fan.
Yeah, that's what David says. What happens when someone gets hurt? That's the whole thing we hope doesn't happen.
There used to be a ton of Lions fans on this show. What the hell happened to
I
them?
chased their lasses away.
yeah, that's about it.
Someone was trying. Stafford's a top 5 quarterback.
Oh my gosh! What the
He's
hell?
still.
did he give me a break that
He
day?
still has a hair shaving to come.
Nicky T. Suggs doesn't have a team. He just likes to shit on Cleveland and Detroit teams.
He likes to. Yeah, he doesn't have a team. He only goes with whoever's
He has a
best.
team. We already ousted him on that.
And
So-
Have I ever denied it?
Suds owns the wagon. It's not about the fan of being a bandwagon fan. Suds has his own wagon.
That's right. I ride that bitch wherever I want.
Yep.
You guys are stuck with losers.
So Suds considers him always a winner.
Damn right. Listen, I don't deny it. I don't deny a damn thing. He's a Florida fan? The fuck is that?
No, he's a Michigan State fan. I can attest to that.
I am a State fan. Michigan State fan. Professionally, I'm not. Professionally, I'm not any fan of any team in the NFL. I do really like what Miami has done this year. I'm going to jump on that bandwagon for this year. I like what they did.
Someone bought you a jersey for that, Matt.
I know, it was awesome.
Yeah, dude. Akers, that backfired on our ass or what?
That was the best thing ever, dude. I'm wearing that shit this year to the draft. That was the best. Y'all tried to prank me, and dude, I was hyped for that shit.
I was trying to get you a jersey. It was actually on your list to go be.
What is it, a Tua jersey?
Yeah.
It backfired on us.
Dude, I got it in the mail, and I was pumped.
He couldn't pronounce his last name. And that's why we turned around and we're like, oh, we're
he wasn't even calling him Tua. He was calling him Tuna, wasn't he?
Yeah, tuna. He's the tuna.
He's the tuna.
He's the big tuna in Miami.
Mike,
he's not the Professor Jennings.
Braybander. Meet Suds. Suds. Braybander.
That's me. I'm the biggest. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's a bandwagon fan on Chipper?
No.
We'll have to get David on one of these weeks so him and Suds can go at it.
The only thing I know Chipper talks about is the Braves and the Steelers. I never heard anything else out of Chipper.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought he was just a Steelers fan. Yeah.
No, he's
that's a bandwagon
fan.
He likes the Avon Brewing Company as well.
That too. Yeah, he's been killing that in the Crushers.
Yeah.
Big ups to you guys for his birthday. A little shot from all the way across the fucking state. By the way,
I called that place and said, "Hey, I want to buy a shot and a beer for a buddy that's there. Can you make it happen?" She said, "Can you call me back? I'm going to talk to the manager." I said, "No problem." So I call her back. He was the manager, and he's like, "Yeah, I can do that." He goes, "Well, can you describe him?" I'm like, "Well, his name's Chipper." He goes, "I know exactly where he's at, and I know what he's drinking. Here's your bill." I said, "Send him the beer that he's drinking. Send him a shot of Patron. Tell him it's from the guys at Mud City." And the dude goes, "You're serious?" I said, "I've never been more serious about a thing in my life."
That's awesome.
I get a text message a short time later. "Did you really just buy me a drink?" I said, "We fucking goddamn well did."
I wish the guy would have seen his I would have loved to have seen the wait. You should have had the waitress take a picture of him as they set it at the table. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I said his name's Chipper. He goes, "Oh, he's sitting right here. I'll take care of it right now. I know exactly who Chipper is."
Wow. Brady challenges LeBron.
Was that joke on Chipper because it sounds like a good deal?
That was his birthday. I mean, he was out for his birthday. We sent him a beer and a shot.
That is very cool.
I mean, I had that jersey sent to me. I called George up and like, dude, I was hyped. I was like, I got a jersey for free. Someone was listening to us. And he was like, Jesus Christ, I thought you flip out over it. And I'm like, dude, I was loving it. I'm like, there's no downside. What's the worst happen? I got a free jersey out of the damn deal? Or if he becomes a criminal, he joins my team, I still have a jersey of his.
That's what I looked at. I was like, we're buying this jersey for him because he's actually going to have a jersey on who's going to be on his roster.
Yeah.
By the way, I have multiple jerseys that are on my roster for the NFL criminal team. I have Ricky Williams. I have Ray Lewis. I have Aaron.
Ray Lewis wasn't convicted.
Huh?
Ray Lewis wasn't convicted.
Yes, he was, sir. He was convicted, but not of all the charges.
I was going to say,
all right.
Obstruction. Obstruction. He was.
Details yourself later.
Sorry, but I have an Aaron. Dude, by the way, this year's draft, I went up to B-Dubs, and I was sitting there with everybody, and I guess what jersey I wore, George? Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sitting there, and they're like, who the jerseys is that? I said, it's a Patriot jersey. Who is that? Whose number is that? Figure it out. And they're sitting there and they're guessing all these numbers that somebody from behind going, Hernandez? Like, yep.
I was saying,
It's-
Shane's got Gator Hernandez's,
Yeah, I seen that.
blue and orange.
They're like, that takes a lot of balls to wear something like that out here, out and about. And I'm like, why? Most of these snowflakes don't remember who was on what team last year.
Right?
They're not going to remember Aaron
They know who the
Hernandez.
hell's on their team.
Yeah.
All they know is they have a Super Bowl win of that quarterback.
Oh, Lord.
Yep, I know. Fun times, fun times. So, Mr. Bennett, prediction on your squad for this year, the Packers. What do you think?
I still think we win the division. Do you do anything outside of that? I don't know.
I mean, outside of technically, I guess Tampa Bay and the Rams. I mean, does anybody really? I mean, do they really give you anything of a fight? I don't think so.
I mean, Devontae's a huge hole. I mean, you can't argue that by any stretch of the imagination.
And you can't
But,
really
like I
replace
said,
him.
I can the Bears win a game this year? Look at their roster. Look at their schedule. Can they win a game this year? Detroit doesn't have Williams for the first half of the season with the torn ACL. If they even allow him to come back and play, he could be gone the whole season. So it's the same team as last year. Did the Vikings get better? I don't know.
Whether or not they got better, did Green Bay get worse? That's the answer to that question.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Oh, there's same. I mean, you're 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right?
But
Right.
if the bar is here with the Green Bay and the Vikings were right below them and they dropped down to here, then the Vikings are ahead. Vikings got by nutrition, the Vikings got better than the Packers just by staying the same.
Well, they're going to lose a linebacker. They'll lose Anthony Barr. He's not going back. Did Patrick Peterson sign again, which is an open corner spot? Everson Griffin, he's gone. One of the safeties, they're gone. So okay, you lost a wide receiver. Did they get worse defensively? Yeah, their offense is dynamic. Justin Jefferson's an animal, no argument. Dalvin Cook, monster. They have no tight end to speak of. Thielen's a step slow, maybe.
But
You
didn't
don't know
they
what you're gonna get back out of
use
them.
up all their draft picks with defense, basically?
That's what
Yeah,
they
I
needed.
couldn't even tell you.
I believe
I know
that's
last year
what they did.
drafted
They
an offensive
replaced
lineman.
what they lost with draft picks.
I will take Aaron Rodgers against a rookie defensive back 1,000% out of 1,000%.
Which Aaron Rodgers are we talking about? The safe auto Aaron Rodgers, or the one where he's sitting on the hippie stool playing the guitar Rodgers?
The one that won the MVP last year.
Well, don't forget the Vikings also they drafted the corner Booth and the safety signed from Georgia. So I mean, like you said, they're gonna have a lot of rookies back there on that secondary.
But they're another team that needs to win now. I mean, Cousins is getting no younger.
Nope.
And they just paid him a bunch of money to come back. I mean,
and they got a new head coach.
They're a win now organization.
Win.
I would say I would have to go with the Vikings in that division this year.
It'll be interesting. Absolutely.
What's that?
We got to talk about, we should ask Jason his question. Like, who out of all the new coaches this year, who's going to have the best record out of all of them?
Tampa Bay.
Out of what?
Not including Tampa Bay because of what they have, but out of all the new head coaches, which will be the best one, other than Tampa Bay, obviously.
Nothing.
Well, you think everybody's going to jump on the Miami train, right?
Yeah, Miami's next.
But look at the division they're in. Can they beat the Bills twice?
They've proven they can beat New England twice.
The other 100%. Did the Jets get better? Can the Jets win a game there? You don't know.
They cannot.
You're gonna find out.
They are not going. I have no faith in the Jets.
I would take Salah or whatever the hell his name is over this new head coach from the Niners, running whatever offense is going to be ran. As far as coaching, now obviously on the field you're talking about two separate things, but we're anointing this offensive coordinator to be this great thing that, I mean, their whole offense with San Francisco was built off of a tough run game. Is there a tough run game in Miami? They have like six running backs on their roster. Can they make it shake? I don't know.
Yeah, they just signed somebody else.
Sony Michelle.
So,
Yeah, they signed Michelle.
I, you have to admit they have a choice at running back. I mean, I bet you the Ravens would have loved that choice.
I think Gaskins is gonna go. I think Ahmed's gonna go, and probably one other guy. Because Mostert's there now too.
Or Mostert, yeah.
Mostert, Edmonds, and Sony Michelle. So Gaskins and Savannah, Ahmed. He's gonna. I think they're both done.
So I got Gaskins had his I'll shot. See you guys
later. Gaskins had his chance last year to take over this number one spot, and he didn't run well with it. So that's why he's gonna be odd man out.
That's what we keep saying.
Miami shored up their offensive line. A bunch of defensive help. They're gonna be tough. But see the same thing with Tyreek is with Devontae Adams. Can they do the same thing with a new quarterback? You don't know.
Well, Tyreek's going to only be able to run 25 yards. Then he's got to stop and come back.
To his weak arm, the jumps.
Yeah, Chase Edmonds, Sony Michelle, Mostert, Gaskins, and Ahmed.
Gaskins is the youngest. Is that not right?
And then you have the draftees that came in, White and Dokes. So
Dokes is out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, so you've got there's a lot of running backs, and you've got to you're gonna have to slice that off eventually.
I can't imagine
talk about the AFC. Talk about that. The AFC North has completely flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh's at the bottom now, right? Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Cleveland. Anybody can win that division.
That's what everybody always said. Like, when's the last time Pittsburgh has actually been in the 4th spot?
Pre Big Ben, and even before then, Mike Tomczak had him winning ball games, right? I mean, Neil O'Donnell had him in the Super Bowl, for crying out loud. So what? 20 years?
Yep.
Yeah, they hardly ever rebuild. Like, they just seem to retool.
That's the thing, though. That's how you find that you have your freaking organization right, is that you have someone that can actually keep picking out. And I'm not saying you're replacing every player. You keep finding that one key player. Just like the Steelers had Hines Ward. It didn't matter who was at quarterback. They had Hines Ward. And now they didn't have a receiver, but they had a quarterback that can throw to different guys. So they found Big Ben. And Ben was literally throwing to different receivers after Ward left. He had different tight ends. He had freaking TikTokers. I mean, he had top receivers, but they did not last less than 4 years. I mean, Plexco was it not Plexco, but Antonio Brown was probably the longest receiver they had, right? After Hines Ward?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, about.
And then that's what I'm saying. Like, so you have, let's flip the script. Aaron Rodgers is the same way. He finds receivers, so he has to find a new role. That's why
Tom Brady turned around and just took anybody and everybody who just kept coming in.
Exactly, and that's why I said too. The same thing was.
We're about to find out if Aaron Rodgers can pull off the same.
Correct.
Job. That's basically it.
Correct. And Brady's done it before. Brady's probably the only quarterback we'll ever know that's been in a different Super Bowls with different receivers. And the only one he basically repeated with was Julian.
So, and like I said, we'll basically figure that one out this year, and we'll see exactly what goes down with it. Well, we ran into a little overtime here, folks, but everybody, thank you very much for those who are sticking with us and are hanging in with the overtime. We will chat with you all next Monday, and we'll catch you all on the flip side. Thanks again.
Good seeing you, Bennett.
Jumping in from Mud City. We'll catch you all later.